He's back. You know I had to do that. Okay, let's get into Chapter 6, the Book of Boba Fett, titled, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. Let's get into it. You remember that feeling you felt when you first saw the first Avengers film? And you never thought you'd see Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow in a live action movie up on screen together, and then many more came after that. That's what this episode feels like. Star Wars is trying to create their mini Avengers, and they've been laying down hints of this since The Mandalorian. So I absolutely I love this episode, but I'm going to try and make this short. I'm just so excited, which is why I'm kind of like, I'm rambling, jumbling up my words, because I'm just so excited. I loved this episode. So I'm going to try and quickly recap, and then do my overall review of this episode. So, pretty much, this episode picks up where Chapter 5 left off. Mandalorian goes to meet back up with Grogu. But before we get to that, the opening scene in this episode takes place in Mos Pelgo, where the marshal, in the outskirts of Mos Pelgo. It's the marshal from The Mandalorian, and I think it was the first episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian. It's Marshal Vamp, the one who had Boba Fett's armor. So that marshal catches Pike Syndicate people doing trade-offs on the outskirts of his town, and he tells them, you need to get out of here. Keep that over there in Mos Espa. Don't bring that to this town. So he has a shootout with them. He shoots most of them and then leaves one of them alive. So the marshal pretty much gives him a warning and tells him, keep the spice trading outside of my town. Keep that in Mos Espa. Don't come back here. So from there, it cuts to automatically right into Mandalorian traveling to some forest planet to go visit Grogu. So he gets there. Mandalorian does. He lands. He sees R2, tracking whoever comes near their little area where they're setting up camp, Luke and Grogu. So Mandalorian asks R2, hey, where's Luke and Grogu? I want to see them. The Mandalorian doesn't see Luke or Grogu yet. He actually leads, R2 actually leads Mando to go meet, now I was squealing at this part, Ahsoka, but he doesn't know that yet. So he sits there because he wants to see if he can wait for Luke to come back training Grogu. So he just falls asleep, and then when he wakes up, he sees Ahsoka standing over him and she pretty much leads Mando to where Luke and Grogu are. They're training. And mostly what takes up this episode is the training of Luke training Grogu. And Ahsoka telling Mando, you're too attached to him. It's just going to be difficult trying to train him because he's just too attached to you. And she suggests that whatever gift, the little gift that he made with the medal from the previous episode from the armorer on that spaceport planet that Mando was on, Ahsoka just suggests, well, whatever gift you have, I'll give it to him, because if you give it to Grogu, he's going to want to leave with you, or more like, when you leave, it's going to be more painful for the both of you, because you guys you have this bond with each other. And just leave the gift with me. I'll make sure, Ahsoka says, I'll make sure he gets it, because she just doesn't want Grogu to feel more pain when he when Din Djarin leaves. So, and I'll later on I'll get into the whole training bit and what I think of that overall. So I'm just trying to run through what all that happened. So the trainings, we cut from the training, and then we travel with Mandalorian. He goes to Boba Fett in Jabba's palace, and they're all having a meeting, and they're getting ready for war. So pretty much Boba Fett and Fennec are talking about the game plan, and they realize, even though in the previous episode, Boba Fett and Fennec made an offer to all the 3 houses or families within Mos Espa to join them, for the 3 houses to join Boba Fett in fighting the Pike Syndicate. But what they realized, Boba Fett and Fennec, that they realized that the houses that they asked to join them are actually planning to betray them and try to overthrow them, take over from Boba Fett. So, and Fennec voices, well, we need more manpower because we don't have enough people to fight off these 3 houses. So Mandalorian goes to Mos Paugo and meets up with the Marshal and asks him, hey, I need your men, you're great fighters, and can you help me and Boba Fett out to fight this whole spice war that's going on. The Marshal's kind of hesitant. He's like, I don't want no casualties with my people. We look, we handle what's going on our side of town. Y'all handle that over there. He's kind of hesitant, but, you know, they're cool from, you know, the stuff that went on in Mandalorian. So he's like, all right, I'll help you. Hesitantly, he really doesn't want to get involved, but he agrees to help the Mandalorian. So, oh boy. Now, I'm not going to say I know who it is, but I'm not going to say exactly the name of this person. The moment I saw them walking, I'm like, that's, you know who from the Bad Batch. And I lost my mind. I lost my mind like I lost my mind when I saw Ahsoka. Oh my God. I'm like, I was freaking out. The moment I saw him walking in the desert towards the Marshal. Before I get to that, let me roll it back a little bit. When Mando asks the Marshal for help, the Marshal agrees, but then Mando flies away and goes back to Boba Fett. So that's why Mando wasn't there when this figure starts walking towards town, and the Marshal's like, oh. And I said the same thing, and I'm like, yep, y'all gonna die. So this person from the Bad Batch gives a warning to the Marshal and says, I won't hurt you unless y'all keep your noses out of the whole spice dealings, you know, the spice trading. And the Marshal doesn't back down, so this quick draw, pow, 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 shoots the Marshal and shoots the deputy. I don't know if the Marshal's alive, because we cut away from that. They're both down. This figure shoots the Marshal and the deputy, as I just said, and it appears that they're dead. And so with that, we cut back to Grogu and Luke, and Luke has Master Yoda's old lightsaber, and has the gift that Mando left for Grogu, and Luke asks Grogu to choose, okay, if you choose the lightsaber, you have to stay with me and finish your training. Now, if you choose the gift that Mandalorian left for you, you get to go back with him. And that is pretty much where Chapter 6 cuts off. This is the best episode in the Book of Boba Fett series. I said that about 5, but 6 has replaced 5. 5, Chapter 5 is second place now. Oh my God. Let me talk about my likes. I flipped out. I did not expect to see Ahsoka in this episode at all. I expected to see her in her own TV show. Did not expect her to be in this. Oh my God, I flipped out when Mando had fallen asleep waiting for Grogu, and then he starts to wake up, and then you see Ahsoka, because I thought that was Luke standing over him. I'm like, oh my oh, Jesus, that just, oh. Okay, come here. Let me talk to you for a minute. Was that so hard? Was that so hard? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Last Jedi. Was that so hard? All we wanted Luke to train somebody. This is we got it. We got it in the Book of Boba Fett. Of all TV shows, but what just was this so hard? Rian Johnson, was this so hard? Oh my God. I enjoyed every minute of Luke training Grogu. Oh, this is what I always wanted to see in live action Star Wars. We've seen it in graphic novels. We've read it in the, the original expanded universe. This is all we wanted. This is all we wanted. Oh my God. This was so refreshing. I don't care if the training took up the whole flipping episode. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. I loved Luke teaching Grogu the ways of the Force and just training him, teaching him to center his balance. Like, fine. Like, just be one with the Force. Find your center, concentrate, and you won't, struggle. That's all we wanted in Last Jedi. Damn. God. It was so good. He was teaching Grogu how to jump. And then there's some point, Grogu's doing like levitating exercises. And then Grogu's like looking at Luke, like, practice his lightsaber fencing, fighting and whatever. I call it fencing, lightsaber fencing. I don't know. just Luke practicing swinging his lightsaber around. I'm like, I don't care if it's fan service. I want it. I want it. I want it. I don't care. I want it. Yeah, I loved every minute of it. And just Mando, just his father and son relationship with Grogu. Even though this is the Book of Boba Fett, I don't care. I want it. I love it. I didn't cry, but I got emotional when, oh God, when Ahsoka leaves, because apparently it appears that Ahsoka found Luke, so they know each other because they have an exchange with each other, because Ahsoka leads Mando to Luke, so he parts ways with Luke to go wherever she's going. They just have an exchange, and Ahsoka says, "You're just like your father." Talking about the good side of Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker, the person behind all that machinery, the person that he used to be, because Luke is doubting himself, and it's because Luke is so concerned about other people's feelings. That's how Anakin used to be, and she just says, "You're just like your father." I'm like, and the exchange where she's getting ready to leave, and Luke just says to her, when will I see you again? And she's like, soon. And just them, like, Luke's father, Anakin Skywalker, his apprentice, who is Ahsoka. Ahsoka met her master's son. God, I've always wanted to see that. It just warmed my heart. I'm like, just Ahsoka and Luke, just to show that, yeah, Darth Vader, Anakin has done horrible things, because his mind was clouded by the dark side, but he really was a good person, because it's because the Emperor manipulated him into doing those horrible things. Oh my God. And just for her being a lifeline of just reassuring Luke, letting him know, hey, your dad was actually a good person. You very much like him. It's just their exchange. I can't wait for these two to get back together and just like interact and work together on whatever adventure, Luke and Ahsoka. I loved it so much. I hope he shows up in her show. And okay, I'll get back to Luke, but I just loved it. Moving on, I think the only dislike I had was Luke making Grogu choose. Okay, because from what I understood, what I remember back in the day with Luke, the original expanded universe, Luke kind of dropped all that, with Jedi you can't be attached to anyone, you can't fall in love. I'm like, okay, this is, I hope in some way, either in Ahsoka's show or, yeah, because no, it can't happen in this one because we got one more episode left of Book of Boba Fett. It's probably going to have to happen in Ahsoka's show. I hope that she explains to Luke that don't make him choose, because yeah, it's going to be hard training him because he's so attached to Mando, but by making him choose, that, just explaining to Luke, that's the trouble with your father, because he could not be with your mom and he had to choose between his marriage and being a Jedi, and that just spills over into all kinds of trouble. And I just hope that he just lets Grogu have both. He can train with Luke and then visit Mando. I hope Luke changes the rules and will bend the rules, whatever, and just lets Grogu have both. I don't want him to make him choose. Don't make Luke into the stick in the mud here. Don't make him this is the problem with the whole Jedi Order originally. Let's give a shout out to Luke's CGI. Thank God they fixed his face. CGI de-aging looks smooth on Mark Hamill. Oh my God, there are some parts where it's his stand-in and then it's him. So no excuses. We can have a Luke series. But overall, this was a really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm going to watch this over and over and over and over and over again. I'm not going to stop because I loved it. God, I loved it. My favorite was Luke swinging the lightsaber and doing his training, and then Grogu doing his force exercise. Oh, man, I loved it. And seeing just certain characters I didn't expect to see. I'm like, oh, okay. This feels like the Avengers. When you first see them all together in a film, that's what this feels like. I don't know what's going to happen in episode 7, chapter 7, the Book of Boba Fett, but I want Grogu to have both Mando and get his training, Luke bend the rules. I don't want him to choose. I want Ahsoka, can you come back? Can she help out? Maybe Luke's gonna come and help the war with the Pike Syndicate. Who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen, but I hope I hope everything just goes crazy. I want everything to go crazy. Yeah. I love this episode. This is a must-see episode. Oh my God. So, what did you think of Chapter 6, the Book of Boba Fett? From the desert comes a stranger. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Please leave your comments below. Thank you for watching the Pearlie Eye Review.